Vibrant verses of Benjamin Zephaniah, a tribute to his life and legacy. While living in England, a co-worker and I, back then, had the opportunity to use one of his books. So when we exchanged words a few weeks ago, it brought us back to the precious memories that we had of his work. Hence, I'm doing this recording out of respect and admiration for this icon, who also gave a talk at my graduation, which I found most outstanding. Benjamin Zephaniah, a remarkable figure in contemporary British literature. He was a poet whose work significantly impacted various generations. His life and writings were deeply intertwined with his early upbringing based on his family influence and his connection to the Caribbean, all of which contributed to his unique voice of poetry. His early upbringing and family influence. Born in Birmingham, England in 1958, Zephaniah's early life was marked with challenges and the richness of a multicultural upbringing. He was the son of a Barbadian postman and, of course, the son of a Jamaican nurse. What a combination. He had 7 siblings. The Caribbean heritage profoundly influenced his worldwide view and his literary voice. His parents instilled in him a sense of resilience and the importance of understanding his roots. The dialects and the rhythm of the Caribbean was an integral part of his household. Zephaniah's journey into poetry started early. He faced difficulties in school based on his dyslexia. His work is characterized as its directness, its lack of pretension, and a rhythmic energy. So the public caught like of this, and of course, they really loved him. He became known for his performance poetry, a style combined with rhythms of reggae music, with the urgent themes of racial and social injustices. His performance was not just about reading. They were vibrant, musical, and very interactive, of course. And they connected deeply with the audience he performed to. Let me also say that the connection between Zephaniah's work and the Caribbean was unmistakable. Frequent use of the dialect of his parents infused his poetry with a sense of authenticity and cultural richness. This connection was not just linguistic, but thematic as well. Many of his poems explore the experiences of the Caribbean diaspora, the pain of displacement, and the complexities of identity in the post-colonial world. Remember, his parents would come to England at the time when England needed immigrants to work. Now, in his work, he had several themes. Zephaniah's poetry covered a range of themes. His issue and movement towards social justice and anti-racism. He frequently addressed issues of racism and inequality. His poetry was powerful. It was a voice for social injustices, highlighting, of course, the struggles faced by minority communities in Britain and globally. Another theme that emerged from his work was need for peace and human rights. Zephaniah knew that his advocacy for peace and humanity was important. His poem reflected his, of course, belief and support for human rights causes. Another theme that was dominant was cultural identity and heritage. Exploring his Caribbean heritage, Zephaniah's work often dived deeper into the question of identity, belonging, and reflecting on the experiences of the diaspora community. And of course, he was concerned about the environment. I would say that everyone needs to know about his work, especially the younger generation, because his work reflects an immense relevance for today's youth for several reasons. Let us look at some. Cultural diversity and inclusivity. His poetry provided a window into the experience of multiculturalism back in England and the wider world. He helps younger readers understand and appreciate the cultural diversity and the need for inclusivity. Social awareness. Zephaniah also focused on social justice themes that encourage young people to be aware and engage with their social issues within their time. He also believed that there was diversity in language, and that was expressed in his writing. His innovative use of language, blending standard language and patois and Creole, demonstrate the power and beauty of linguistic diversity. It inspires young people to further find their unique voice. And let me also say, he had a level of understanding and empathy that was established in his work. By exploring the themes of displacement, identity, and belonging, his work fostered empathy and a deeper understanding of others' experiences. And of course, he was a person who believed in inspiring others. In addition, there was also the themes of inspiration and resilience. Zephaniah's personal story of overcoming challenges and using poetry as a means of expression was inspirational. It shows the transformative power of art and encouraged young people to pursue their passion despite obstacles. He was also a man of principle. He lived by what he wrote and what he believed. Benjamin Zephaniah rejected an OBE, Officer of the Order of the British Empire, in 2003, a decision that was symbolic to his principle and beliefs. He publicly declined the prestigious award, which is typically awarded for significant contribution to the arts and sciences and for public service outside the civil service. His rejection was rooted in his strong anti-colonial stance, his discomfort with the term, of course, empire, in the award's name. He viewed the award as a symbol of Britain's colonial past and its ongoing effort on society, particularly on communities of color. By refusing the OBE, Zephaniah made a powerful statement against the lingering impact of colonization and stood firm in his commitment to social and racial justice, which has always been central in his work. His actions resonated with many and highlighted his integrity and dedication to his values. In conclusion, Benjamin Zephaniah passed away in December 2023. But his poems reflect the need for consciousness. And as we reflect on this man, I would say he's a cultural icon. He understood the cultural complexities. His work was deeply rooted in his early experiences and family influences, and of course, his connection to the Caribbean heritage. It resonates within, and I want to say that his work must inspire the new generation. The youth of today, in reading and honoring his work, can find a source of literary excellence and a guide for social consciousness and cultural appreciation. I want to say that this man's work will continue to live on. His legacy will forever be remembered. His contribution to the British society and the Caribbean will have a lasting effect, because this man was a man of quality, a man who stood up for what he believed in. And when the awards came, unlike others in the Caribbean who accepted it, he rejected it. He lived, he wrote, and he maintained his values. Over to you, Ross.